Hey student, watch this video and learn how to use prepositions of movement in English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. First of all, thank you so much for joining me on another lesson. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing because from Monday to Friday, I post different kinds of English lessons, grammar, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, idioms, listening tips, reading tips, speaking tips, because I want to make sure that you become a better and more confident English speaker. So make sure to subscribe and become part of this beautiful community of English learners from all over the world. Well, my friends, let's dive into the content. Today, we are going to be continuing our preposition series, okay? So, twice a month, I'm posting preposition videos. Well, I think there will be 2 more videos. I think there will be 2 more. So, this is part 3. If you have missed the previous videos, it's okay, but go check them out, all right? Now, today, I'm going to focus on prepositions of movement. In the previous videos, I talked about prepositions, a short introduction on prepositions. Then on video number 2, I talked about prepositions of time, place, I think time and place. Now I'm talking about preposition of movement. This is the kind of preposition that causes a lot of confusion among English learners, okay? Awesome. So quick review, because I like to review. This is a lesson style, so let's make sure we get to review the lesson. Awesome, my friends. So what is a preposition? A preposition is a word, okay? Basically, it's another word in English that will connect, will connect nouns, pronouns, phrases, to other words within a sentence. So this preposition serves to connect words in a phrase, in a sentence. So that's why it is so important. I go bakery. No, I go to the bakery. Okay, so I use these prepositions to help me connect other words, bring them together within a sentence, okay? So here I have prepositions already that will help me complete my idea in English. Now, prepositions of movement, this is a very basic definition. These prepositions, they will indicate movement. They are not still. They indicate movement from one place to another, up and down, around, through, along. So there are many kinds of prepositions of movement. I will focus on a few ones. I'm not going to be talking about many of them. I think I picked 10 prepositions, I guess. So these prepositions, they indicate movement. Now, one important thing, these prepositions of movement, if your idea is movement, you will need a verb that also indicates movement. So these prepositions of movement, they usually come with verbs that indicate motion, okay? Ah, but teacher, I saw this phrasal verb. That's what I want to talk about. The prepositions I'm going to show you here, they can be used in different situations. They are not only used to describe movement. They can describe place. They could be adverbs. They could be many other things, okay? The words I'm going to show you today, they represent prepositions of movement, and usually when we are using these words to indicate movement, it's best if we use them with verbs that also indicate movement, okay? Now, if you see these prepositions that I'm going to show you with other verbs, check out the meaning, because it could be a phrasal verb, it could be a different idea. As I said, these prepositions can be used in different situations, okay? Awesome. Now, what are the prepositions I'm going to show you here? Across and through. There are 10 in totals, okay? I paired them up. Across and through, along, around, into, out of, towards. It's also possible to say toward. I don't need the letter S, but it's also possible to use the letter S. Away from, up, and down. Now, these prepositions are super popular. And yesterday I made a video with phrasal verbs with the preposition across. So not all the phrasal verbs there meant the idea of across. So pay attention to that. Here I am showing you prepositions of movement, the idea of movement. Okay? Awesome, moving on. So these are the prepositions I'm going to show you. Let's dive into the content. Let's take a look at across and through. Haha. Now, across is the movement from one side to another side, okay? From one side to another. So from one surface to another surface. So let's imagine a swimming pool, okay? I am in a swimming pool. Now, let's imagine that the swimming pool is very wide. I cannot swim across it. So I am here and I want to go to the end of the swimming pool, across the swimming pool. But first I can't swim, so I can't swim across the pool because I can't swim. Can you swim? Let me know in the comments. So that's the idea. Another possible example. Let's go across the bridge. So I am here on one side of the bridge. Now I want to go across the bridge to the other side. Let's go across the bridge. There is a beautiful garden on the other side. Now, could I say let's go over the bridge? Yes, it's possible. There are more possible combinations. Okay? Now, if you paid attention, swim is a verb that indicates motion. Go is a verb that indicates motion. So here I'm talking about movement. So pretty much all the verbs that I'm going to use here indicate motion as well. Through is also the movement from one side to another, but this movement happens in an enclosed space, almost like inside a specific space. I don't like to use the word inside because that's not necessarily it. You're not necessarily inside a box, okay? It's an enclosed space. So let's think of a tunnel, okay? A tunnel is the best way. So if I want to get to the other side of the tunnel, I have to drive through it. I have to go through the tunnel. So I'm driving. I hate driving through tunnels. Why? Well, because my GPS stops working. I don't feel comfortable driving through tunnels. It makes me uncomfortable. So that's the idea of through. So you see the difference between these guys? Through requires that idea of enclosed space. Now, as I said, you will see across and through used in different situations, but that's not the focus of this lesson, okay? In the future, if you want me to talk more about across and through and give you other situations when you use them, just let me know. So if you enjoy this kind of lesson, make sure to hit the like button because that way I understand that this is the kind of lesson you enjoy, and this also helps YouTube understand that this is a good lesson. The more likes I get, the more YouTube understands that this is a good lesson, so it will suggest, it will recommend to other students like you. Anyways, along, around. Well, along means that you are following a line, okay? Basically. So let's say there is a street. I can say I was walking along the street. There are many possible combinations. I could use different words, but today I'm using along to give you the explanation. A line, okay? Following a line. So I was walking along the street when I saw the mugger. The mugger. Do you know the mugger? The mugger is a bad person. It's a person that stops you on the street and steals your things, gets your purse and runs away. So that's a mugger. You don't want to meet a mugger. Good luck if you meet one. So I was walking along the street. So imagine a line. You're walking along the line, okay? Now let's imagine another example here. I looked along the shelves, and here there is a misspelling, Chelves, Sorry about that. So I looked along the shelves. So let's imagine I have a shelf with books. So there's a line with books on the shelf. So I looked along the shelves for the book I needed. So I was looking for a book. So I looked along the shelves for the book that I was looking for. Now, around is different. When I go around, okay? So let's say if I am speaking around. So I go in a circular direction, around. An obstacle, surrounding someone, surrounding something, okay? So that's the idea of around. My spelling, the earth. There's a letter H missing. The earth goes around the sun. So the earth goes around, or the sun goes around the earth? I don't know now. It's the earth goes around the sun, or the sun goes around? The earth goes around the sun. I think it's the earth goes around the sun. Yes, yes, it's true. Geography. Yay! The earth rotates, moves. Oh man, revolves around the sun. My geography. Check. Yay. Awesome, my friends. Someone was asking about mugger. Did you understand mugger? Mugger is a person that steals. Imagine you are walking down the street. You're walking along the street. A bad person stops you and says, yo, give me the money. Give me your iPhone. That's a mugger, okay? It's a bad person. We could say it's a thief, but thief, robber, and mugger are different people, different situations, okay? But they're all bad. All bad people. Anyways, so that's the idea of around. Moving on, because I can't stay for too long. Into, out of. Okay, so into. I love the preposition into because it's different from in. In doesn't give the idea of moving. It's stopped. It's still. I have flowers in my vase. Okay? So it's there. It's not moving. It's still. Now, when I use the preposition into, my idea is of movement. It's the idea of entering a place, a building, or a vehicle. So here I have two examples. The athletes marched into the stadium. So they were entering the stadium for the opening ceremony. So that's the idea of into, marched into. They were entering the building. Whenever you see into, it's this idea. Because, oh, teacher, why can't I say I walked in the room? You could, but the best verb is into because of the idea of entering. Okay? Now, there are some situations when you don't use into. Like a friend comes to visit me, he knocks on the door, I say, hey, come in. I don't need to say come into. It's not important for me to give this idea of entering. The verb come in is enter, okay? Here, she got into, I am emphasizing the movement. She entered her car and drove away. She got into her car and drove away, okay? Now, out of is the opposite of into. If into means entering a place, well, out of goes from inside to the outside. So you get out. You are out of. That's the idea with this preposition. So the cat, meow, the cat jumped out of the box. So there's a box and then the cat, whoops, jumped out of the box. So I'm giving the idea of movement with this preposition. My friend just got out of the hospital. Good for him. I'm so happy he got out of the hospital because it's horrible to stay in a hospital. It's not cool. And let's see. Is that the last one? No, we have up and down. Two more. Well, four more. Towards. Basically, this means in the direction or in the direction, one direction, in the direction of. Okay, so that's the idea. If my sister is coming in my direction, she is walking towards me. So she's coming in my direction. She's walking in my direction. She's walking towards me. Hey, look! She's walking towards Jamie. Is she gonna talk to Jamie? I can't believe it. She's gonna talk to Jamie. Look, she's walking towards him. So she's walking in his direction. Probably when I get closer to Jamie, I will stop and talk to him. Okay? Now, another example. If he looks toward you, if he looks towards you in your direction, smile. Just smile. That's the idea. Okay? Next, away from. Further from something. If towards is coming in your direction, away from is the opposite. Okay? Look, our dog is running away. Oh my God. It's running away, not in my direction. The opposite. Further from me. Further from my house. Okay? Now, something we listen a lot in movies, especially fights. I don't know, couples when they are having fights and problems. Stay away from me. Stay away. Okay? Don't stay near me. Go away, further from me, not in my direction, further, stay away. So that's the idea of away from. And see here, it's a compound preposition. I remember I talked about that, and I will talk a little bit more in a specific video with compound prepositions, because it's a combination of prepositions. It's not just one. Sometimes this happens. It's not that complicated, but I will have a specific video just to talk about that. And finally, very easy one, up and down. And remember, guys, there are many different meanings for up and down, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is the idea of movement. So up and down here will be connected to a movement, up or down, okay? Remember, there will be phrasal verbs with up and down. There will be other kinds of meanings for up and down. So this one is movement, okay? So up towards a higher position and down towards a lower position, up, down. But depending on the verb of movement, the verb that indicates motion, that's the idea that I'm going to give. Okay, so here, let's imagine I'm waiting for the elevator, then the elevator opens, it's there, but then the person inside the elevator looks at me and say, no, this is not going down, it's going up. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the elevator was going down, but it's going up. Okay, so this happens a lot, especially me. I'm a little clumsy. The kids, hey, don't climb up the tree. It's dangerous. Don't climb up the tree. Very dangerous, my friend. Or maybe you are on top of the tree. Your mother looks at you and says, for God's sake, climb down. Come down, climb down. So that's the idea of down in this situation. She had to bend down and pick up her keys. Maybe her keys fell on the floor, so she had to bend down to pick her keys up. All right, my friends? Awesome. Now, question. Here I put what preposition questions do you have, but I also want you to come back in the comments and post to me your example, okay? I want you to pick 3 prepositions of movement from this lesson: around, along, through, away from, out of, into. 3. And come back here in the comments and post your examples. I would love to see your examples. Other than that, if you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to hit the like button as usual and share this lesson with your friends. By sharing this lesson, you are helping people like you improve their English skills. Thank you so much, my friends, and I'll see you tomorrow for another English lesson. Bye bye.